Good evening, everyone. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. I want you to breathe in so nice and deep that you feel as if you're breathing all the way from your nostrils to your toes. And the purpose of this kind of breathing with consciousness of the prana moving all the way from your nostrils to your toes is to activate all of the chakras, all of the fields of your electromagnetic field, and there are so many that we don't even count in this classification system, from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. So we're breathing deep and exhaling long and loud and getting grounded and activating every miraculous aspect of the design of your human body and its associated energetic body for the highest good of all parties concerned. We're activating all of your chakras, primary, secondary, minor, unheard of chakras. The chakras that you know and don't know exist. All of the layers of your auric field, whether you're working with 4 or 8 or 12 or 144 that take you all the way up to source, breathe deeply and give them room, time, space, prana to become activated. Breathe into all of the cells of your body to activate them. Breathe into all 4 minds of the incarnated being and its connectedness to all form of consciousness beyond this incarnated being, and activate your intelligence at every level. Breathe deeply to activate all of your extrasensory perceptual tools, known and unknown. And breathing nice and deep from the top of your head to the tip of your toes, activate your inner knowing, your inner wisdom. And then just breathing quietly, pay attention inwardly to, is your body beginning to vibrate or hum, have a buzz, a tingle, a feeling of being awake, aware, present? And if you're struggling with this, still focused on your breathing, hold a clear intention. I activate every aspect of my intelligence here and now. I activate every aspect of my intelligence in connectedness with all intelligence here and now. And again, just breathing gently. Check if your inner landscape has shifted, if you are experiencing your external landscape differently, and if there is any returning energy, pressure, feeling, knowing from the external or outside bodies or intelligence within which you are vibrating. In other words, feel your presence in the world. Feel your presence within yourself and in the world. And still focused on your breathing, feel your presence in both. I am present within myself. I am present and presenting myself outwardly. The presence encompasses both. So just for this moment, practice having an awareness of your inner presence and presenting in the world. Have an awareness of being present, intimately connected with yourself here, and being present, fully connected to all intelligence and consciousness there. It is difficult. We have talked of this concept before as 0 and 1. I am 0 and I am 1. And I flow between the two, accepting that I am present as both. That even beyond the duality, I am present as both. So you may imagine yourself as 0 and 1 and the constant flow between them. That you are the infinite potential, the infinite possibilities that lie between 0 and 1. And when you have fully established this idea, this visual, this feeling within yourself, just breathe gently, take a moment to relax and to invite your guides, your angels, your ascended masters to be present. Work on the understanding that in this space you are already working with your higher self. And of course today we are working in the vibrant, strong, divine feminine energy of Our Lady Isis. Who likes a very methodical way of doing things. So there in your mind's eye, in the sacred space of your own inner universe, and in the sacred space of your connectedness to all universes, be ruthless with yourself, honest and open in your approach, and willing and committed to change. Look at the inner presence and look at your outer presence as the observer of both. Which one is bigger? Which one is more intense? In which direction do your fears flow? Outside in or inside out? In which direction does your love flow? Are there spaces between these presences of you that are dark or shady, unilluminated, unknown, unaffected? And most importantly, for the purpose of this meditation, where is your known, your aware structure of boundaries sitting? If you imagined it as a fence of consciousness, does it sit between your inner presence and your outer presence? Does it sit outside of the two? Does it sit within one or the other? Where is the structure of your boundaries? And if you saw it clearly like a white picket fence, is it made taller, stronger, more stable by any additional barrier? Take a look at the nature of the structure. How does it become real intuitively for you? Is it the same as a house with tall walls and electric fences? Is it a neat little cottage with a low fence simply defining the garden? Is it a see-through spiky fence with barbed wire on top? What is the nature, the feel of your boundaries and barriers? And once you've established that, move into the energetic view of your boundaries and barriers. What is the intelligence? What is the consciousness? What is the awareness or thought that those boundaries and barriers are made up of? For some of you, they are both the same thing. For example, the boundary of trust is backed by the barrier, I do not trust anyone. So now we have 3 layers. The first is merely a concept, trust. the boundary. The barrier is I do not trust, a simple statement of active implementation of the concept. And the final qualifying barrier that sits in the recesses of your consciousness and acts as the source, the activator of all barriers. Anyone. The qualifying structure, the final defense. Where is this boundary sitting within you? And is your boundary the external facade? And the internal barrier? There are many minds, always at work, in any one intelligence, even as there are a multitude of infinities between 0 and 1, and an even larger universe of infinities between 0 and 2. Infinities within infinities, intelligences within intelligences, thoughts within thoughts, and feelings within feelings. They have all enmeshed in a fine combination of barriers and boundaries within you, created in your consciousness word by word. Of course, I trust. Mostly, I trust. I usually trust. All of the pre-qualifying statements to manage the concept, the boundary, the barrier in the external world. To even hide the greater inner intelligence of I do not trust anyone or anything. And if we changed the concept to any concept of your own, for we know that this example does not apply to all of you. If you changed it to the one most challenging concept, value system, barrier or boundary in your own life, what would it be? I understand. Of course I understand. I have no idea what they're talking about. Where is your social intelligence? Speaking appropriately, even confidently and assuredly, while your intuitive intelligence cowers, hides, cringes in the background. Where is your academic, technical intelligence, leading you logically forward and leading you intuitively, spiritually astray. Where is your truth, standing between you and the world as a boundary or a barrier in and of itself? And how many fine meshes are there between the innermost you, the innermost presence and intelligence, the infinite cosmic intelligence of you, and the outermost presence and presentation of you. You may choose any I am statement as your boundary. I am fine. I am well. I am good. I am light. I am decent. I am thoughtful. I am generous. I am graceful. I am beautiful. I, the soul, agrees with all of these activations of you. And these would all be truths of your innermost intuitive knowing. And if you do not know these innermost soul-activated truths of you, then consider for a moment, just for now, that the cosmically intelligent presence of you is hidden behind a range, boundaries and barriers within you. And that we may now have two layers of presences, an inner you and an outer you, and a presenting, purporting inner you and another outer you. 4 layers with the innermost cosmic intelligence, the soul-activated, wonderful, bright, high vibrational, infinite potential you, hidden even from you. Just as there are infinities within infinities, there is wisdom within wisdom, consciousness within consciousness, knowing within knowing, awareness within awareness, understanding within understanding. And in the practice of healing, meditation, becoming, you are always encouraged, taught to go within. Removing the barriers of language and culture and race, patriotism, religion, money, neighborhoods, continents, oceans, source, genetics, removing these barriers, and coming into compassion, appropriately expressed in different spaces, regardless of environment, circumstance, requires that you first remove that barrier between your innermost being, the highest vibration of you living inside of you, deeply within you, into your presence, into your being present, inside and outside. And everyone has a part of themselves locked up, hidden away, deep and deeper within. So there in your mind's eye, where you have completely forgotten that you are two presences, and possibly four, focus your attention on yourself as the source, as the zero of infinite potential. Place a dot in the middle of it. And in your mind's eye, feel yourself moving energetically, consciously into the dot, as if you are squeezing yourself into one infinite moment, making time stand still, moving your entire being through the eye of a needle. And if it feels like your brain is struggling, that it cannot make itself so small, that it cannot become so indistinct as to slip inside this tiny dot, then struggle. Rail against it, break down the barriers, and let the thread of light that is you simply pierce through that tiny dot like Alice falling into Wonderland. And feel, simply allow your emerging on the other side of the dot. Just squeeze through from the one side and experience yourself emerging on the other. And just allow the experience to be what it is. And then breathing gently, rest. Allow all of the thoughts, all of the visualizations to simply dissipate. Focus once more on your presence in your body, your connectedness to all consciousness as a presence outside your body. And breathe. Just breathe. Simply breathe. Only breathe. Breathe the life force in all the way from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Reactivate all of the connectedness and consciousness and intelligence of you, inside out and outside in. Just take a moment to feel if this is different from the first time in this meditation that we did this. And in this new sacred space, breathe and rest. Thank your guides and angels and the Ascended Masters for being present. Thank Our Lady Isis. And when you are ready, bring yourself back to the present moment, here and now.